This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Denver Broncos behind their new signal caller, Case Keenum, as they'll take on Josh McCown and the New York Jets.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. Darius Stewart now on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a guy who only became a starter relatively late in his career. It's the well-traveled veteran, Josh McCown.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers? 1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss. Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free. Now a run. This is below Powell. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It was Eric Reed in on the stop. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. They go again with Powell. Gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge. On 1st and 10, here's McCown. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their efficiency. Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. They go play action here on 1st down. Caught the tight end Walford. And he's brought down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 65 yards. And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open. Throwing on 1st is McCown. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that one results in 35 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that. They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up. No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football. Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up. And avoids the turnover. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Now to try the Jets field goal, Cairo Santos. And
Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. It'll be Case Keenum leading the charge, making his first start in a Bronco uniform here in this one.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Again, it's Hill. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And quickly the starting 11 now for the New York defense.
I wanted to highlight the back end of this defense and especially focus in on the safety duo of Jamal Adams and Marcus May. Adams, their first-round pick. May, their second-round pick. And both had tremendous rookie seasons. Both can play free safety or strong safety. I call them mirrors. What one is doing, the other is doing the opposite.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Keenum. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Bronco first down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Again, they run with Hill. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And that is incomplete. Jamal Adams, their #1 pick a year ago, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
McCown again on 2nd and 10. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, that's Powell, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26, and a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Keenum. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Jenkins coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. That's something this coaching staff told us they want to see a lot more of this season.
I imagine the entire time in the offseason when these guys were taking breaks from watching film, when they were out running and doing all the other things, all they were thinking about is, how do we create more sacks? They loved what they just saw there.
Because they were near the bottom of the league in 2017. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around him.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Steve McClendon breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So McCown comes up as the Jets have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Shaquille Barrett not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. And they picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Ross on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now Keenum throwing on second. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They do go for it. It's Keenum. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
As a defender, I always found the slant route extremely difficult to cover unless you're able to jump on top of it early, because once he gets his hands on the ball, he's at full speed going away from you.
It all happens in the blink of an eye, doesn't it?
It really does. The timing is so important. That ball's got to be out of the hands of the quarterback and to the receiver like that. And if it is, you often get a very successful play.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw is Keenum. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on first down is Keenum. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. David Bass in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. On second down, here's Keenum. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Broncos were their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone, it's Keenum. They set up the screen to Hill. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. The Broncos in their hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. To throw on second down is Keenum. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. David Bass in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Keenum. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Jets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start with a couple of AFC playoff teams from a year ago. Kansas City playing host to Jacksonville. And that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. Marquise Lee, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Buffalo to check on the Bills at home in New Era Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Bills trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you tone that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Let's go.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Keenum to throw on second down. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Leonard Williams in there to get him his second sack now in the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half?
Because tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run again. Again, it's Bell. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right. Oh, a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. On third and long, it's McCown. Looking for Pryor, long. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
McCown now on first down. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback's got to see.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jets are able to strike for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Throwing is McCown on 3rd down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Let's go.
On 1st down, Hill. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And that's the first NFL catch for Cortland Sutton. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. They'll run on 1st down. Hill looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here, he rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
So McCown comes up as the Jets have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. So after the INT, it's McCown now. Crawford's got it. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This is the running back, Powell. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
This will be caught inside the 10. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the 1st down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you look a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And coming out now, the Broncos. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they do the interception... finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check girls, check girls, check girls.
Here's the backup, Jacoby Brissett. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Flex round, flex round.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Brissett. Left side here to Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
They begin with a carry for Powell. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. From the gun on 3rd, McCown. He's got Curtis. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's McCown. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing, Brissett. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Brissett. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Broncos in their hurry up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Now Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
To throw is Brissett. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And they'll try to save the timeouts to use on defense if need be as he runs up and spikes it. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Here's Brissett. Eluding the pressure, and he's taken down. Trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Leonard Williams in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on third and goal. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And McManus able to put it through. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
And now the Jets are going to get this one, and that might be all she wrote. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.